Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are in Farnborough. We're checking out a new gym. It's called Jet's 24-hour gym, I believe. I don't know. I came across it on Instagram not too long ago. So we're going to go and find it now. We're going to go in, get set up, and then you'll see the gym there. So I'll see you in there. Okay guys, so we're actually in the toilet, really weird, but it's the only place I can get that was quiet enough where I won't get copyright on music. So what the plan today is we're going to try and actually do a workout that I've got planned for myself. So I'm going to do a personal workout. We're going to see what the gym offers anyway, like usual. We're going to rate the gym, and then that should be the workout done. So come along with me, we're going to train chest and biceps and see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. So catch you in a bit.
She just wanna be my baby model. When you know what is right. just wanna be my baby mama. When you know what is what. That's loud.
angel wings, I told the devil. Angel wings, I told the devil.
Okay, so we're back in my car. It was a quick workout. It wasn't anything that I hoped it would be. It was a little bit busier than I expected for it to be like 10:30 in the morning. So we finished up and cut the workout pretty much in half. But we're gonna review the scores on my phone. I quickly did it whilst I was on the chest press. What I will say before we carry on is the chest press that you saw in the video that I used, the pin loaded machine, was honestly like one of the best chest pin loaded machines I've ever used in my life. The stretch was good. You can get a good like range of motion, honestly. Yeah, so that made the workout pretty decent. Got a good pump on the chest. So we're going to review the scores, and it's pretty much all the same, to be honest. So the aesthetic, like look design, I gave it a 5. The equipment, I gave a 5. Pretty basic equipment. Nothing that I haven't seen before. I'm hoping to go to one of these gyms that I discover and use machines that I've not used and seen online. So the equipment was 5, layout was 5, pretty small. I didn't like the fact that it was in the middle of a shopping centre. The location was the thing that let it down the most, I personally think. And most of these gyms that I've been to so far, the parking's not great. I think if you want to open up your own gym or get, you know, or visit a gym, make sure the parking's better than, you know, having to like walk a little bit, or like it's just awkward, or the gym's like tucked away. Like I personally think the parking's a massive thing when opening up a gym. So that's my opinion on parking. So that was a little bit messy, I guess you can use the word. The layout was 5. The size I'm going to put down as a 3. Just because it was one floor. There was an upstairs, as you saw in the video, like the first part of the video, there was a studio, but again, I'm looking for something more like spacious, like so you're not crammed. So now, okay, so the average for this gym is a 4.5. I'd probably say, yeah, it was a 4.5, 100%, but again, every gym has their own perks, their own, you know, stuff to improve. So I'd say that's a decent score, 4.5 out of 10. That's that gym done. Again, we are in Farnborough, so that was that. And yeah, all I can say is now is I'll see you guys in the next one, and where to next.